Okay, so today we are starting chapter 18A, and that is now starting off the more trigonometry side of the unit, which is all to do with triangles. So the first thing we're going to do is go over and revise over SOHCAHTOA, which all those ratios here. So sometimes they call the formulas ratios, means the same thing. And SOHCAHTOA can only be used on what type of triangle? So only on a right angle triangle. You've got to be really careful with that because you are going to get a lot of other types of triangles. So only if it's a right angle, if you know. Now the other big important thing is that your calculator is in degree mode. So you'll see it up the top, it's vital. If you've got it in radian, you're going to get it all wrong, okay? So just to revise over that. So it has to be a right angle. So we've got the right angle. The hypotenuse is always opposite that right angle. And it is actually also the largest side, isn't it? Yeah? Then it depends on what angle they're giving you. So in this example, because it's down here, this one becomes the opposite side and that becomes the adjacent. If I had that same triangle here and I said that's the angle I've got, this would become the opposite and this would become the adjacent. So you've got to be really careful with that. All right, so let's go have a look. So we've got a few examples here. Now, you can do it the way they said, or so here your main bet is that you label up your triangles. So yes, I've got a right angle triangle, I've got the opposite side and I've got the hypotenuse side, so I know I'm using sine. And you can just type it in like the rule. So the sine is opposite over hypotenuse, and you can use the solve function if you don't have to worry about stuffing it around, moving it around. That can make you easier. You will probably never get the minutes in trigonometry in further. You'll just get degrees and maybe a decimal point. So you don't need to worry about that. So here you can see with this one, they have asked you to find the hypotenuse. So that's been the question. And you've got the adjacent. So therefore they've used cos. Okay. And then here, find the magnitude of, so when they say, sorry, this is not written a little bit. They'll say find the magnitude of A, B, C. What they mean, magnitude just means the size of an angle. You don't say like the number of an angle, you say, or size of the angle, you say the magnitude. Now, when they say A, B, C, it's the one in the middle that they're talking about. That simply means the lines A, B, C, and you can see it's the one in the middle like that. So when you see that, so if we were doing this one, we would just say, all right, we've got the opposite and we've got the adjacent, and we did tan. So when you're finding out the angle, see how you use the inverse function. So the inverse function is that -1 sign, and that's underneath your TRIG button in your calculator. All right, so that's it. So you guys can start 18A and practice that. Off you go.